My son demanded a paternity test of his wife, so I demanded one of my own.
It's a double paternity test. Wow.
I, 55 male, have 3 children, 2 girls and a boy. My son is my oldest, and up until recently, I thought he was a decent man. Unfortunately, my daughter-in-law, Tessa, 32 female fake name, showed me I was wrong when she revealed to me that the reason she was divorcing my son was because he cheated on her multiple times and gave her an STD.
Oh, yikes.
She made a social media post with pictures of text messages and show video recordings of messages he left proving her side. I was shocked, and when I confronted my son, he said that she over-exaggerated and that the only reason he did what he did was because she wasn't putting out, which, as we all know, is the legal loophole. Being an adulterer and being unfaithful.
Dad, you don't understand. I had to cheat on her. She wasn't giving me anything.
Oh, you gotta get it. I needed some more pushnani, dude.
I didn't want to break up with her because that's work.
She wouldn't give me any of the pushnagi, man. Tessa gave birth to their second child 7 months ago, and their first child is 3 years old. I apologized to Tessa for my son's behavior and then yelled at him for being so selfish, intentionally hurtful, and cruel. I did not hide or downplay my disappointment and was only silenced by my wife's defense of our son. I remember how hard it was when my wife had our second daughter and couldn't believe she didn't have a shred of sympathy for Tessa. Tessa is a sweet and smart person, and she didn't deserve what our son did. My wife has been letting our son stay in our house despite my wishes, saying that he needs our support, but I say he's in need of a hard lesson. We fought about this constantly.
Yeah, I feel like Tessa, who has a baby, needs your guys' support.
Yeah.
And also maybe, also confirm has an STD. So she's pregnant and also has an STD.
Did she give it to the baby?
Not a great combo.
Eventually, my son accused Tessa of getting the STD from someone else and demanded a paternity test.
That's wild.
Smart man.
Well, what if it was you?
What a genius. Actually, no you.
Your Honor, I rest my case.
I knew these claims were complete bullcocky and saw red. I yelled at him for it, and his mother came to his defense and told me a man had every right to know if his kids were his. I countered with demanding a test of my own, and my wife was offended, and I moved out.
So, lady, what did you just say, girl? Girly pop? You just said a man has a right to know if his kids are his own?
Said, okay, keep that same energy, babe.
Yeah.
She and my son sent others after me and either lied and overplayed what things were like at home, and I just got tired defending myself. I was going to let things be until either my wife or son contacted my job and made hurtful accusations about a female employee that I've been mentoring for the past year, and that's when I snapped. I'm filing for divorce.
As you should.
Dude, shout out your son. What an overachiever, ruining 2 marriages
Yeah.
at the same time.
Good job, bud.
The house is paid off, so I'm willing to let her have it. But until a judge says so, I've stopped putting money in any of the accounts that she has access to and only make payments to the credit card with the $4,000 limit so she has money to buy groceries and get gas and pay for her other expenses. I've also changed my main beneficiaries to my daughters and told my son if he wanted a single cent of my money, he'd have to take a DNA test. He later did, and he passed. I responded with an email acknowledgement that he was my son, as well as a copy of re-updated wills where he will receive 10% of my assets.
Which I believe is like the lowest you can do without, so that they can't contest.
Can you make hawking a loogie in someone's face an asset?
No, I think that's a DNA test.
I would give him 100% of that.
Apatui.
All my loogie hawk assets go right to your face. My wife and son are demanding a public apology, but I don't feel like they deserve it. Am I wrong?
So far from wrong that I don't even know why you're here. What are they demanding a public apology for? That you said, oh, I need to know that you're my son when he did the same thing? Is he going to give a public apology to Tessa?
Yeah, honestly, after my son cheats on his wife that is just had their second child and then tries to play the Uno reverse card on it, and my wife goes, you know what, he has a point. I would go, hey, now I need to make a point. Did you cheat on me? Because you seem to be very cool with our son doing this.
Yeah. I mean, so supportive. I think there's a way to support the people in your life that you love who have made massive mistakes, but it's not just giving them a free pass and supporting them in those massive mistakes.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta put a boot in someone's rectum.
Yeah.
This guy needs that.
There's a boot in my butt.
That's what people say.
That's Woody.
It's Woody. Yeah, Woody says that.
I know, it was a joke. The joke is that I said the wrong guy.
Oh.
It's magic.
Joke, guys.
Edit! Just to be clear, since people seem to be skipping over it, my wife called my job and accused one of my mentees of getting special treatment in exchange for special favors from me and other men in the company. Ugh. Can she get prosecuted for that?
Yeah, I hate that.
So she went and dragged some other person into this and was like, actually, she's sleeping around with all of the men in the company.
So incredibly stupid when you seemingly also benefit from OP's income to try and take away his income.
Wife's a dummy.
Yeah.
She made such a big public stink that HR is investigating, and my mentee is considering leaving due to the embarrassment and stress. Not to mention the damage to my own professional relationships. There's an update. Yeah, I mean, hopefully this should be all very easy to prove that that's
Sorry, my
targeted.
wife is crazy. And I really hope that you can work through that at work. But very clear divorce, open shut divorce case here.
Yeah, you might as well be walking on plexiglass, because let me tell you, brother, those are clear grounds for divorce.
Oh!
Update, 1 month later. In short, the young woman who I was mentoring talked to HR and is leaving the company and will be suing my wife for defamation.
Heck yeah!
Except how much of that's just going to be your money?
Yeah, I would divorce her real quick.
I am also being pushed to leave despite HR clearing me of any wrongdoing. A lot of people in the office just give me dirty looks and or keep their distance. I've also gotten a lawyer. She feels confident that because the evidence of my wife's blatant attempt to sabotage my reputation at work, I can just give her a lump settlement instead of alimony. You gotta give her anything after she did that?
Yeah, crazy.
That's insane. My lawyer also agrees to a lot of you in regards to not just giving my wife the house, but rather sell it and split the profits. I'm back in the house for now, per my lawyer's advice, and it's pretty miserable right now. Definitely drinking a bit more than I used to, just trying to hang on. I've also had some hard but honest conversations with my daughters, and I have come to accept that there are certain aspects of fatherhood that I failed in. I did show up to school events and spend time with my children, but overall, I let my wife do the majority of the parenting, and she favored our son. I just never really paid much attention, and my daughters didn't feel as if they could talk until now. However, they're still willing to have a relationship with me and are on my side with the divorce. I haven't spoken to my daughter-in-law much, but she did send me a thank you text for standing up for her. Thanks for reading. We got another update 4 months later.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Listen to your lawyers, folks.
And on the other end of this, I'm glad that you're having real conversations with your daughters who clearly have been affected by this dynamic their whole life. But now you're getting into the nitty gritty of it, and I love that. So keep at it.
4 months later. Okay, here's the update. Filed for divorce a few months back and returned to the home per my lawyer's advice. But my wife and son have not made it easy. I had to take video of them accosting me to a judge for them to finally back off or be forced to vacate the home. I also have a lock on my bedroom and office doors and a small fridge in my office. I also go to my oldest daughter's house a lot for dinner for some peace. And I also think it's really convenient for when we have our deep conversations. I've also attended a couple of video therapy sessions with my youngest daughter to help her unpack some of her issues. Ultimately, my daughters decided that in spite of it all, they still want me around and can see that I'm willing to listen and respect their boundaries, so we're solid. I left my job, but was given a decent severance package and work as a freelance consultant for other companies in the same/similar field. I don't get paid as much, don't have as much security, but it's something, and the free time allows me to help out more with the grandchildren. My daughter's children, not sister-in-law. Sister-in-law has decided to keep her distance until the divorce is finalized, and she has primary custody of both the kids. My son is allowed to keep the oldest overnight, but almost never does, and won't visit the youngest since it's still a baby who prefers breast milk to formula. And by the way, I prefer you listening to full episodes with stories like this one on your favorite podcast platform, iHeartRadio, or wherever else you listen to podcasts. Just search OK Storytime. Mwah, and there we are. Yeah, your son sounds like a scumbag. How did that happen?
Yeah, I mean, his mom. OP wasn't around as much as the mom was. Mom favored the son, let him get away with anything. Daughters weren't favored. And there you go. It's easy as pie.
I mean, you'd think he might at least hit a Marty Supreme type vibe and, his child is born and then he goes, oh my God. I guess spoilers for Marty Supreme.
I haven't seen it yet. I think, OP, you made the right decision. I think your relationship with your daughters is much more important than your relationship with your stinky son. And I think your daughter-in-law is going to really appreciate how much you've been, on her side and backed her up.
I think you should leave shrimp in the shower curtain rods when you're in the house.
He'll never find them. And then you tell her, no, you keep the house.
You say, I'm going out of town temporarily for a week and a half. I'll be back to my house that I live in and own. And you let them have week and a half stinky little shrimp. Oh, stinky repulsive.
One time I wrapped a piece of shrimp for a gift because we were doing White Elephant and I forgot to get something. And so I just went upstairs and got one of the pieces of shrimp and wrapped it up really quick. And my uncle got it. And he was like, what is this? And then he ate it. Okay, let's finish this. My former mentee is suing my wife, who had the audacity to ask me to pay her legal fees.
That is so funny. Like, oh, wait, sorry. Wait, you want me to pay the legal fees for the lawsuit when you tried to ruin my career and my job?
Hey, buddy, did your ex-wife slither out of a swamp? 'Cause she's trying to snake you.
She's got snake oil.
Her divorce lawyer seriously asked for that, and she's trying to get the house. Last I checked, they were going to settle, which will end up having to come from her portion of the sale of the house. A sale that she was trying to stop by not approving any of the repair people I suggested, so we could fix up the house in order to get it ready, as well as wanting to dispute its value. It's taken a judge's order to get her to finally back off, and I'm basically going to have to foot the bill for the repair and realtor fees if I want to get this over with sooner rather than later. Unfortunately, the judge also agreed that the more I pay toward getting the house ready, the less I have to pay out to my wife, so I see that as a win. Absolutely. The less liquid assets you have to give her, the more you've won. Yes, put all of that money into the house. Put so much money into the house that she owes you money.
Yeah, I hate this lady and her son.
Sell it to your friend. You know what? Yeah, definitely sell the house to somebody you know.
Sell it to
so that
the
you
mother.
can still go be in the house.
Sell it to your daughter-in-law.
Sell it to your daughter. Sell it to anyone who hates your wife.
Yeah.
Just please.
Sell it to that girl, the mentee.
Yeah, sell it to the mentee.
Yeah, and she can use the lawsuit
And
money.
then no one will think any funny business was going on between you two.
Brilliant.
Can you imagine the office gossip after that?
Yeah,
Of
and then
and then he literally bought she bought his house and they exiled his ex-wife and son.
Nothing could have been going on with them, right?
I don't even think he lives there. He literally just sold the house to her. Can you believe that? He sold her a house.
She paid for the whole thing.
And then they go, wait a minute, hold on. Something's not right. She bought the house. Is it romantic to sell someone a house?
Unless.
What if you did the HVAC and the plumbing and the walls and the floor?
Could be more romantic.
I don't know. All I know is that story is over.
Sure is.
And your ex-wife sucks.
Sure does.
So does your son. He's a scumbag.
Yeah, in order it goes your son, then your wife.
He just was like, Pops, you don't get it. I did this because she wasn't giving me any of her sweet little punchani, dude.
And then had the audacity to ask her to get a DNA test.
And then his mom was like, he's right,
He's right in it,
A man has a right to know, but not you.
And then she's gone.
I'll be leaving in Johnny, no papa.
No, Papa.
Which is code word for lying. Lying about you. Johnny, yes, papa.
No,
Eating
papa.
sugar, no, papa.
Eating apple.
No, papa. Open wide.
I actually have seen this terrifying video.
You have.
Oh, wait.
What?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You don't know about Johnny, yes, papa?
No.
It's a whole thing.
Papa.
But we got another story.
I'm ready.
Story. I'm ready too. My sister intentionally mispronounces my children's names just to get a rise out of me.
Okay, Schmirtha.
Sounds like someone I know.
What, you mean when I say his name?
Even though I, 25 female, grew up in a different province, my parents are from Quebec. and so is my husband, 25 male. So basically, we're French Canadian, even though we currently don't live in a French-speaking province. By the way, this comes from throwaway name 1223, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. OP says, I have always liked French names, and I've always wanted to give my kids French names. So I did. My eldest is Elodie, 5 female. Second is Thio, 4 male. And well, I'm having another boy in December, and I wanted to name him Maxime.
Those are not annoying names. Sorry, it's a running joke on the show that I think the French Canadians are annoying because they're always going to let you know they're French Canadian. Look at the way they name their kids.
She's French Canadian.
This is the most French.
I mean, my middle name is French, so.
What? How did you pronounce the second one, the Theo?
I don't know. I just kind of made it up.
Sounds like a little ray gun.
I don't know if that's right. I just kind of made it up. Now, these are fake names, but are still very French sounding, so it doesn't really make a difference. Anyways, my husband adores the names, and so do my friends and family. All except my sister, 20 female. My sister isn't very connected to our French-Canadian roots like I am, which is totally okay, but she absolutely despises the names I picked for my kids. She especially hates Maxime. Every time we get together, she complains about how outdated or loserish Maxime sounds, which is okay. We all have our opinions, but I'm still not changing it. I said this to her every time, but she keeps complaining. I don't understand why it bothers her so much. Now the issue. While I understand that most people will pronounce Theo as Theo or Elodie as Elodie and probably shorten Maxime to Max, I still kind of expected my sister to pronounce their names properly. She's not just a stranger after all, and she speaks French fluently. So yesterday, yeah.
No, I'm sorry. It's just stop it. Stop being so French Canadian. And she speaks French fluently, which means I don't view her as subhuman. Thank you.
I think more so that she can pronounce these names.
I think it's both.
Well, you know what?
I think it's unironically both.
You know what? You know more. You know more.
About French Canadians?
Everything.
Thank you. Is it because I'm wearing my Magic Castle hat?
Yeah, I just assumed. I saw that hat and I was like, well, he knows more. But only
I'm
today.
sorry, and I need to put my distaste for the French Canadian aside.
Yes.
For the time being.
He's put it aside, folks. So yesterday, after I put the kids to bed, my sister came over and said, are Elodie and Theo asleep? I didn't really shout, but I did kind of tell her that those aren't their names in a frustrated tone. She just asked me if I really expected people to pronounce their names like that. I told her that I expected her to, not other people. She knows that's how their names are pronounced, and it really isn't difficult for her like it is for other people. Heck, it isn't even difficult for English-only speakers, but she's their aunt. She told me that I was being irritating and making a big deal out of nothing. She also said that my kids would probably pronounce their names the English way too. I then told her to come back later because I was getting pissed off at that point, and she left, thankfully, after telling me that I was being a huge pain in the butt. I do understand her point, but at the same time, all I want is for her to pronounce their names properly, no matter what other people call them.
So here's the paradox. Because what other people call them will basically be their name. If that's just how they're referred to. That's just the way it is. If everyone calls you something, you go, that's me. That's me.
Sometimes when, especially I feel like a lot of times with names that are just like different cultures and stuff, like you have a lot of Hispanic names or what, like I had a lot of kids in my class who had more Hispanic names and they would kind of become anglicized, I don't know.
But wouldn't you be appropriating the accent if you tried to say it as it's supposed to be said?
I don't think it's appropriating to speak a
That's
language.
where you'd be wrong. I just read the liberal archive.
Damn it! And he knows everything today.
Magic Castle.
I had a friend
Checkmate, liberals.
in school. Her name was Elena, but everyone always called her Elena. Not everyone, but like teachers would call her Elena. And at a certain point, she just kind of gave up on correcting
This
people.
is literally the joke from Parks and Rec where it's like Jerry is not Jerry, he's Larry. And he just let everyone call him Jerry forever.
Yeah, which I think at a certain point people get really frustrated and they just give up. But I think when it's your family, I think there should be an attempt to say your name correctly. What my children call themselves in the future is up to them, but as of right now, even they pronounce their names the French way. So am I the a-hole for being so annoying about this? My husband thinks I should just leave her be, and so do my parents, but I don't know. Comment 1, info, is she speaking French or English when she's mispronouncing their names? And is she just saying the English version of their name, or is she, I guess, sort of approximating the actual name, but with English sounds. I personally find it really tough to switch between French sounds and English sounds and back in the middle of a sentence. My name has an R in it, and if I'm speaking French, I'll use a French R, French vowel sounds, and a more French emphasis pattern to say my name. If I'm speaking English, I'll use an English R, English vowel sounds, and a more English emphasis pattern. It's just easier. I guess, imagine the biggest Anglo you know, who can't manage to make sounds that aren't in English, is doing their genuine best to pronounce your kid's name. Would they be doing a better job than your sister?
Can I just really quickly say none of this matters? And I bet here's exactly how it played out in my head.
Yes.
The sister goes, hey, is Theo here?
Theo.
And then the OP goes, that is not his name. And the sister goes, oh my God, you're so annoying. Just, is he here or not? And then and now you're like, well, I just feel like because he's French. It's stop. Everyone needs to stop.
Oui.
OP says she doesn't pronounce their names properly in both languages. She's completely over-exaggerating the English sounds to the point where it's barely the same anymore. Oh, so now, I think what actually is happening based on this is she's going, is Theo here? Is Elodie around? Is Maxim? I think that's what she's doing.
Dude, and honestly, what a good vibe, dude.
Oh, man, you would do that.
I'd just be like, yeah, he is. He's in his room. Go get him.
And see, I might be less annoyed if the names were super hard to pronounce, but all my English-speaking friends can pronounce their names no problem. Yeah, it took them a bit to get used to, and their accent may not be the best, but that doesn't matter, because the name still sounds like their names. I don't know if this makes sense, but it's pretty late. Comment 2 says, not the a-hole, but she is. I was sympathetic to her until you said she speaks French fluently. And after you said that, she has no excuse. The kids should and will get used to the anglicized pronunciations too, because they'll hear them all the time. And it's probably better for their stress levels if you don't teach them to correct every barista and coworker every time. But it sounds like you're pretty laid back about it and wouldn't instill that anyway.
What do you mean? How else are they going to be French Canadian?
I think they should just move back to Quebec, where everyone will pronounce their name correctly.
You need to move back to the safety of your island.
Run.
Quebec's an island, right? Or is that Toronto? Are neither of those
I don't
islands?
think either of them are islands.
It's like technically like how Manhattan's an island?
I don't think either Quebec or Toronto are islands. But I haven't been to either of them. That's not true. I've been to Quebec when I was a child. But your own family should know better. And I think she does. P.S. Your example names are great. Maxime and Theo are great boy names. And Elodie is beautiful. I hope your real pics are that great. OP says, right? It's the fact that she can speak French fluently.
Look at these people glazing the fake names that she chose. What does that have to do with anything?
These are so beautiful.
Those are such beautiful names that your kids aren't named. Shut up.
They're such
What are we
beautiful
doing?
French names.
Why does the French Canadian bother me so much?
I don't know.
I don't know.
What's going on?
I don't know.
Did a French Canadian?
It's some sort of latent thing within my genetic ancestry.
A French Canadian my father.
There had to have been some weird French-Canadian war type beat in my genetics. I don't know. But this is annoying me.
Oh, wait, no. Sorry. I'm going to reference a new thing. A French Canadian ate my grandma.
You have such beautiful, tasty fake names. Shut up.
That's a reference to Trolls.
Sorry, I've never seen that movie. I just know the guy is voiced by Justin Timberlake and he doesn't like to sing.
One of my cousins who actually cannot speak French at all manages to say their names, and so do all my friends, who also can't speak it. But she, a literal French speaker, refuses. Also, don't worry, you're 100% right about the fact that I'm pretty laid back about strangers or people who don't know them mispronouncing their names. My kids will correct their friends, teachers, etc., but also know not to take it to heart too worked up about it, like I did. And the fake names are quite adorable, aren't they? Comment 3 says, not the a-hole. Sister is being a rude knucklehead. Does she have a name you can mispronounce and have the kids mispronounce? Petty, yes, but would be worth the look on her face when she hears her name different.
Oh, the look on her face when she doesn't care because you soaked up all the French Canadian.
I don't like hearing my name mispronounced, though.
Sophia.
No.
Sophia.
Yeah, I actually would love that.
See, how do they who mispronounces your name?
People say Sophie a lot, which is, I think, a totally different name.
You're like, Sophie, what am I, some kind of idiot?
Yeah.
People call me Samantha when I'm like, oh yeah, Savannah. And they're like, Samantha? I'm like, no, Savannah.
People always mishear me. Sometimes people mishear me and think I said Sonia. But the most common not my name is Sophie that I get. And I hate when people call me Sophie.
New fun thing to do when people get your name wrong, just say yes and then have them slowly figure it out.
Sydney gets Cindy a lot.
Yeah.
Which is really funny. She's like, it's not Cindy.
So for like those ones are I think fine, because those are just shortened versions of my name. But Sophie is a totally different name. When she has children, she has control over those names. Until then, she needs to stop. Info needed. Is she doing it for attention? Was she the baby of the family until your children came along? I don't think she's doing it for attention. I think she genuinely doesn't care, which is still wrong. I think she should care about your children, but I think she doesn't, or care about their names, at least.
Their names are gonna be they whatever. Yeah, and
We've got something aimed on you right now.
You're plugged in because you were there. You were behind enemy lines.
Race car.
Race car, spelled the same forwards and backwards.
That was me doing Winter Soldier.
Race car.
Isn't that one of them?
I don't think so, but there were a lot of them, and people who speak Russian watch that scene and they go, "What is this guy saying?"
OP says her name is also French, but she goes by the English version, which everyone calls her by, and I'm completely respect. Maybe I'll start pronouncing it the French way. Like you said, petty, but She was the baby of the family, actually. I don't know if she's doing it for the attention, though. Common Force is not the a-hole. It's one thing to expect a non-French speaker to get the intonation perfect, but it sounds like she's intentionally getting it wrong. Plus, she's their aunt. Heaven forbid she make an effort. That being said, I wouldn't be surprised if she enjoys getting a rise out of you, so do have a think about how much energy you really want to put into this. You're not an a-hole if you continue to correct her, but sometimes you just gotta pick your battles and decide if this is worth the emotional exhaustion.
Oh my God, the blind one is French Canadian.
Oh,
I'm so sorry.
maybe you secret.
If you could see me, I'm looking into the camera cheekily.
OP says exactly my point. I don't expect people who don't speak a word of French to be. This is the same thing. It's the same point. And thinking back on everything, it does seem like she finds my reaction sort of amusing. Your last point about whether the emotional exhaustion is worth it, it really isn't. I'm about to have a baby for the third time in less than 4 weeks, for God's sake.
What?
She's about to have a baby in less than 4 weeks for the third time.
Oh, I thought you meant for the third time in 4 weeks.
Yeah, no.
I was like, what? Are you some kind of rat? What is this?
No, she is a rat. She is running.
You're some kind of French Canadian rat person typing this out in between gestation cycles. That's crazy. I don't even have time for this. I'm about to give birth to my third litter in the 4th week of the month.
Common 5. Not the a-hole. These are your kids' names. Yada yada. Okay. Ooh. And she speaks the language. She's got some deeper issues than just refusing to pronounce a name properly. Et mimre si c'est un nom fabrique pour l'illustrer.
Oh my God.
J'adore les noms, Maxime.
The French word, oof.
Thank you so much.
I'm not French Canadian, but if I was, I'd be so mad at you.
But you hate the French Canadians.
Yeah, but I'm saying if I was French Canadian, I'd be so mad at how you just pronounced that French.
I think it was perfect.
And that's fine with me because I'm not French Canadian.
OP says, I've seen a lot of comments saying it may not just be about the names, but that's just making me wonder what exactly it is because it's a little ridiculous, to be honest. Et oui, peut être pour entrer bébé, LOL. Comment 5. Does she maybe have something against French names? I'm in Manitoba, and while we have a high percentage of francophones, well, I guess francophiles is the people who love the French. Francophones, the people that are French.
Allos?
Oui, oui. There are many people who take great pleasure in mocking people who speak French. Maybe she's had an experience where she's afraid or embarrassed to speak French, and the names remind her, Je suis arrière à l'école, immersion, et je me rappelle un gros enfance anglais nu, taquinarent constamment, et j'ai maintenant 42.
Hey,
I didn't
took
take French.
I took French in high school,
I took Spanish.
I took Italian.
and that makes us the continent of Europe.
Whee!
Look at us, go!
Ciao, 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 ciao. Vespa, Vespa, motocicleta.
Update a week later. But before we get into that update, what do you think OP should do?
I think OP should stop being so uppity.
Shelby Miller says, okay, accent. Which reminds me of a story that my boyfriend told me about how he was in this singing group and they had to do auditions and they were auditioning someone and this person just did a horrible job. And one of the auditioner, people manning it went, okay, choice. And that's what that reminded me of.
Wait, one time this guy.
We don't have time.
No, wait, just let me literally win. This one guy was like auditioning for for Something Rotten, and he came on, and he was just so weird, and he literally just put his his hood, or not his hood, but just like this collar over he pretended to be Cornholio from Beavis and Butthead, and he just goes, "Are you threatening me? Are you threatening me?" And I was like, what's going on? And nobody casted him.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
He committed, though.
I really wanted to cast him. They're like, no.
He did commit.
I am going to commit to giving you my thoughts, which are, I think that maybe you can just kind of not take the high road, but kind of just let it happen unless your kids are telling her how to pronounce their names and she's still not listening. Because you said that they correct their friends' name, or they correct their friends when they mispronounce their names. So are your kids saying, my name is Theo, or like, my name is Elodie, and your aunt is, or your sister is like, oh, whatever, I don't care. And then she kicks them. Because that's an issue.
Just a heel. Just shut up, kid.
But we got,
You gotta get ahead of that. I don't care how French Canadian you are.
don't let her kick your kids.
Don't allow that.
But we've got an update a week later. Before I continue, just wanted to clarify a few things. I just don't expect non-French speakers to pronounce the names of my children properly. Getting the accent right is extremely difficult, and getting upset is just unnecessary. All I ask is, instead of saying, for example, Elodie, they say Elodie. My sister, a fluent French speaker, refuses to do even this. Anywho, the update. I kind of realized that the amount of stress this was giving me was not healthy at all. Said, you know what? This is too much.
I'm sorry. I just love that this is the most nail on the head. Why do I think this can be annoying? Oh, yes. I feel so vindicated in my annoyance with the French Canadians.
I'm cool with French Canadians, by the way.
I'm cool too. The one thing the French Canadian are annoying about is the French part of their Canadian French identity. They get annoying about it.
No comment?
She's literally talking about how she got so twisted up about it that it became unhealthy for her to the point where her husband even noticed. So it's perfect.
No comment. My husband noticed as well and told me that I should probably stop talking to my sister for a while, as she was definitely just mispronouncing their names to rile me up, like a lot of you said. So as of right now, I've told my sister over text that I need a break from her until at least my son is born. In fact, I also told her not to bother visiting after his birth, as I'm tired of her disrespecting me, and quite frankly, my children as well. She made a joke about pregnancy hormones or something and told me that I was overreacting. Again, I just left her on red. It's been a few days and she still hasn't reached out, and honestly, I don't really care. Whenever we talked, she'd always complain about me, my children, my unborn child, my husband, my house, etc. And once again, I'm pretty sure the names aren't the problem. I am. I don't know what the reason is, but I'm too pregnant to worry about this, so yeah, thanks everyone. Also, after discussing with my husband, who also says thanks for the support, I've decided that I'll just say their names since quite a few of you asked. Fake names are quite adorable, but these three are just special to me. Caroline, Nicola, and Alexi. Those are so easy. Those are easier than the other ones. Caroline, Nicola, and Alexi.
It's weird that they try to make Nicholas and Dakota rhyme.
Huh?
Nicola and Dakota.
Turns out all three of those names that you just said, they just could be said so easy that way.
If my name was Alexi and someone was like Alexis.
That's the one guy at climbing, and I've been wondering where he's been.
But I would also be like, Alexi, what are you, Russian? He'd be like, no, I'm French Canadian. I'd be like, are you sure? Because that sounds, Nicola and Alexi both sound just a smidge Russian to me.
Yeah, but they got a lot of, they're pretty close.
And then they're even more confused. And he goes, wait, are you Canadian? Are you Russian? Are you French?
Anyway, thank you again. I know. And pray for me. LOL, baby Alexi can pop out any day now. And you can pop on over to listen to full episodes of stories just like this any day now. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime. But there's a little bit left to this story. I'm gonna finish her off.
Leave it to the French Canadian to be upset her sister won't pronounce her Russian names with a French accent.
Those aren't just Russian.
They're so Russian, though. They're so Russian.
They're also French, though.
Yeah, but they're so Russian.
They're also French.
I guarantee you, Alexis and Nicholas originated in Russia.
Let's look it up.
They had
Let's
to
look
have.
it up.
I don't know where the name Caroline,
Caroline.
but I would put all of the marbles on Russia.
Nicholas comes from Greece.
Dang.
Alexis also comes from Greece.
They did everything first. Where did they go, though? Where did they go after?
They did everything first.
They did everything first down there. They took it all.
As a Slavic woman, everything's Russian to me.
What about a Caroline? That's the one I would have no confidence in.
Caroline comes from French.
They've got one.
We've got a little bit left.
Sweet Caroline.
Nikolai is more Russian than Nikola. Well, where was Nikola Tesla from?
Your mom. Boom. Mic drop.
Where was he from? Was it Russia or some other like state up there, like Estonia or something? Latvia, Lithuania.
He was a Serbian American inventor.
Ah, Serbian as a Slavic woman.
As a Slavic woman.
I'm only upset with my sister who refuses to. Everyone else is wholeheartedly understanding and will not make a fuss about it. Just, my sister. Comment 1, just out of curiosity, since we now know the names, how's your sister pronouncing them? I don't speak a word of French. Well, I can count to 3, but I can easily pronounce those names the way you explain them. OP says, of course, Caroline.
You just changed the phonetics on that.
Don't think she did.
That was a E-E-N at E-E-N on the first one. Now it's L-I-N, and it was also, whatever, I don't care.
He's so triggered.
I don't care. I don't care
I think
anymore.
it's still Caroline.
I don't care Caroline anymore.
I don't care, Aline.
Oh, this is how the sister is pronouncing them.
Oh.
Caroline. Nicholas is Nick-a-less. Alexis is Alexis.
The normal way.
At first glance, I totally understand if people pronounce them the normal way. But after I or my children correct you, I expect people to say it properly. That's it. I agree.
Yeah, that's that. You cooked with that last one.
I agree.
You did cook with that one.
I think people should pronounce the names how they're supposed to be pronounced. And if someone tells you how to pronounce their name and you say, that's too hard, I don't want to do that, then you kind of suck as a person.
But it's also that thing of you got to pick your battles and also realize that that's going to, the normal version of their name is just going to become what everyone calls them. And they can't.
Which is what OP said.
You can't mop up the ocean.
She said, she never said she wanted to mop up the ocean. She just said, I want to mop my sister up. But now she's removed her sister from the equation. So it's all good here. And that's the end of the story. No mopping left to do. Mace's Racer says the Nikola I know is from Serbia too. Shelby Miller says it's like she's saying it correctly but butchering the accent and kind of mocking it. Weird behavior from the aunt. But that is the end of that weird behavior and the end of that story. And we've got another one coming right up.
I apologize for absolutely nothing.
Whoa.
My mother kept going to the kitchen the same time as me, and it's very frustrating.
It's my turn.
I, 18 female, there it is right away, have a super repetitive and predictable routine. Every morning at 9:55, I go into the kitchen to pack my lunch for work. Every morning at 9:55, my mom decides she absolutely needs to be in the kitchen as well, emptying the garbage, rearranging stuff in the cupboards, wiping down the counter, whatever. But it's like she waits for me to go to make my lunch and then comes in. The kitchen isn't very big, so she's always bumping into me while I'm cutting stuff up or standing in front of cupboards I need to get into. I've asked her politely a couple of times if she could wait until I'm done. I take 10 minutes max, but she snapped at me for ordering her around in her own house. And she's right!
Yeah.
Oh!
Yeah.
Oh, she's so right!
The thing is, when you have roommates that aren't your mom, you will realize that when someone's in the kitchen, everyone's in the kitchen. This happens in every house that I've ever been in. When one person's in the kitchen, we're all in the kitchen. That's just how it goes, because everyone realizes, oh, I need to eat. Oh, I need to take out the trash. Oh, I forgot something in the kitchen. You gotta go in the kitchen. It's like when someone's in the shower and you realize, oh, wait, I was about to go in the shower.
Yes.
Too many cooks.
I'll say one really quick thing.
What?
Time does this funny thing. Whatever time it is now, there was a time before this time. If every day y'all are in there at the same time, maybe try being in there different time.
Ooh, but do you think mom will just show up at the same time?
Maybe, but then it would be a different problem.
Yeah.
And it would be a problem if I didn't tell you who this story is from. And it's from...
Oh.
It's from a lot of egg cups. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. OB continues. Yesterday, I was cutting up vegetables. She came in to wash dishes and ended up bumping into me while I was using the knife. I got a small surface level cut on my fingy. It honestly wasn't bad, but I was so frustrated with her that I snapped and said, maybe if you didn't insist on being in my personal backpack every morning, this wouldn't have happened. My parents are saying I'm an a-hole for snapping at her for this, but my sister is siding with me. How old is she, 15?
Yeah.
I feel bad for being rude, but I also think it was partially justified on my end. Am I the a-hole? And there's an update. Hey, you know what the first thing they teach you when you work in a kitchen?
Behind.
Be aware of who's around you.
Behind. mind.
Maybe if there's someone standing right behind you, huh? Maybe you don't chop the vegetables right there. Maybe you go chop them somewhere else, yeah? Or you just take a second. You take a break because there's someone standing right behind you that's going to bump you while you're using that sharp knife there. Okay?
I don't think you're the a-hole, but I do think you're 18.
Yeah, I think you're 18-hole.
Yeah, you're an 18-hole. And 18-year-olds can be a-holes.
I was.
I've simply never heard of one example of an 18-year-old being a little nasty. Would you get to elaborate?
Elaborate?
Wow, what are you, 18?
Yeah. But anyway, I think that you're just an 18-year-old. And that's my answer is you're going to find that you are totally chill in the kitchen when you move out.
Update. I got a much bigger response on my original post than I ever thought I would. A couple hours after I posted it, I realized I left a lot of information out and wanted to clarify some things, as well as provide an update on the situation. Some people asked if I pay rent or own the house. It's my parents' house, and I don't pay rent. I can't afford to move out right now, and my parents don't want to let me move out until after my first year of uni. Some people also asked if I'm autistic. I have ADHD, which shares a lot of traits with autism. I stick to a strict routine because it's the only way I'm able to remember to do everything I need to do in the morning. A lot of people suggested packing my lunch at a different time or even the night before. I have tried this before. No matter what time I went into the kitchen, my mom followed. I find that very hard to believe. I find that very
She's
hard to
always
believe.
there, lurking around a corner, waiting, watching.
Anytime.
I believe it.
I tried it again a couple times since making the post, and she continued to follow me. Where did you go in at 9:54?
Yeah.
I took the advice of some people who told me to try going into the kitchen as usual, but to leave when my mom got in my way and tell her I'd wait until she was finished. I even made sure the kitchen was spotless the night before. Dishwasher empty, no dishes in the sink, counters wiped down, and trash empty. She followed me in, and when I said I'd wait, she said she was done. As soon as I went back in, she followed me in again and claimed she had forgotten to do something.
Yeah, that's weird. Your mom's being weird.
Maybe she doesn't trust her in the kitchen.
Could be like she has some sort of, claim over the kitchen where she's like, this is my kitchen. This is my domain. I don't want OP messing it up.
That's Sophia.
Yeah, maybe. That's the only thing I could see is it's like she's going to ruin my kitchen.
Mom, just let me make my lunch.
Mom, you want to make my lunch in peace.
Just let me eat peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Leave me alone. Mom. Mom.
Terrifying.
Yeah, do that. Do whatever she just did.
Mom.
I hate that. Never do that again. I hate that 100%.
Dude, your mom would get out of that kitchen so fast. Oh, I'm sorry. I'll leave you alone. A lot of people pointed out that she might just want to spend time with me, which I hadn't thought of before. Aw.
Wait.
I think that maybe me getting a job, finishing high school, and starting to work towards getting my driver's license made her realize I'm growing up and won't be dependent on her or living at home for much longer. Maybe she just wants to spend as much time with me as she can before I go, or maybe she doesn't feel as mom as she did before. By the way.
Are you my mummy?
And if you're not, you should listen to full episodes with stories just like this on your favorite podcast platform, iHeartRadio, or wherever else you listen to podcasts. Just search OK Storytime, and you'll find us there.
But is that the truth?
It could be. That would be the cutest reason. That's the cute truth.
I hope it's that truth. It's the truth in my heart.
That's a cutie with a patootie truth.
It makes me happy to think about. So let's all think about it.
Nah.
And what if she's like, she's going to scratch the countertop?
Mama!
Opie's like, Mom, is it just because you want to hang out with me? Is that why you're always in the kitchen? The mom's like, what? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? That's not what I want. I'm in there because I think you're going to scratch up the counters.
Mama!
Okay, stop. I'm actually so serious. Never do that again.
God, how do you do that?
I used to make fun of Sunny all the time for throwing up. Because she was so anxious as a child, she would always just
you told me this.
Yeah, and so we would go like, woo, woo, like we'd make the noise. I just got really good at it, I guess. And then she'd just throw up, we'd like, ha ha.
Oh my God.
It's torture.
I'm so glad I was an only child.
Your siblings sound like,
We're so fun.
oh, sure.
I mean, it does sound really fun for everyone except one person.
She had fun. I don't
No,
believe
she
you.
didn't.
I don't believe
We
you.
were watching baby videos and she comes in. I'm like 2. She's like 1. She's walking over and I just kick her against the wall and and my dad's like, "Come on, Sid. Come on, Sydney. You got it. Get up. Get her." And then I'm just like pushing her against the wall as she's trying to leave.
Your dad's trying to make you guys baby fight club?
My dad's like, "Come on, Sydney. You got it. Come on. You got it." And she's like, up against the wall. Like I have my foot in her throat. She's like, and she's like, "Come on."
Wait, so you've been torturing your sister from birth?
Yeah, she's annoying.
She simply couldn't have been annoying at that age. I just don't believe it.
I don't think you have the insight that 2-year-old Savannah had, though.
Yeah, she was like, this baby sucks.
She's this snot-nosed little 1-year-old thing. She runs the place now. I'm 2. But I'm going to heal her through this wall.
What's going on in this story?
What is the story about?
Oh, boy.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I'm the middle.
I'm just kidding, guys. That was a joke. We all know what the story's about. What finally worked was after dinner a couple nights ago, asking her to pack some leftovers from dinner in a separate container for me to take for lunch the next day. She seemed really happy that I asked and didn't follow me into the kitchen the next morning. She even left a sticky note with a smiley face on top of the container. I also asked if she could drive me to work, which gave us the chance to chat and catch up in the car. I think she's just missing feeling like I need her, which I always will. Even though we butt heads sometimes, she'll always be my ma'am, and I think I just needed to find a way to remind her of that.
I love that.
I wrote my original post feeling super frustrated at my mom, but I teared up a bit finishing this update, sending a massive thank you to all the kind people who commented and helped me work this out. Work it out.
See, I love that.
Work it out.
I love that.
Work it out.
Everyone was happy. Everyone's good now.
Yes.
That's the rule now. Everyone's happy.
Your mommy love you, she don't know how to show it. Your mommy love you, she just wants to be in your way.
Mama!
Okay, never again. What did I say?
It's like a bird.
What did I say? Never again.
It's like a bird.
Never again.
Mort, why are you making that noise?
Shut up.
I don't want you to make the noise anymore.
I'm gonna get you.
Do not do this.
But that's the end of that story and the end of the episode. So if you love us, make sure to subscribe.
We love you.
And
see you tomorrow.
Hey, don't leave yet. We've got some stories that we think you'll enjoy, so stay tuned for the next one.
My daughter is spoiled by my wife. Now her entitlement is hurting our son.
Get rid of both of them.
No more children allowed.
Just out.
I, 38 male, have 2 kids, Mark, 13 male, and Lily, 11 female. To give some context, Lily is really spoiled by my wife, Sarah, 37 female. Ever since Lily was little, Sarah has been overly indulgent with her, letting her stay up late, buying her whatever she wants, and pretty much excusing all of her behavior, no matter what. By the way, this story comes from user everydamage9376, and if you want to submit your own story, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. It's made Lily feel entitled, especially when it comes to Mark. She doesn't have much respect for his privacy and constantly tattles on him for the smallest things, knowing her mom will take her side.
So she's a snitch.
Well, also, she's an 11-year-old younger sibling. At first, it was small stuff. Mark didn't make his bed. Mark stayed up too late. But over time, it has escalated. She started reporting anything that seemed even a little bit off.
Mark didn't say hi to me when he got home. Mark left his shoes in the hallway.
Given all of the tattling, it's like Lily has just a mental list of everything Mark's ever done wrong, and no matter how trivial, she'll run straight to Sarah to tell on him. Mark is 13, and like most teens, values his privacy and independence. He spends time with his friends and is starting to navigate more personal parts of his life. But Lily, with her constant monitoring, makes it impossible for him to have any space. There's no escaping it. And the real breaking point for Mark came when Lily somehow found out about his crush on a girl at school. I honestly don't know how she found out. Mark didn't tell her, and he definitely didn't want her to know. He was on the phone with a friend, but Lily must have overheard something. The next thing he knew, Lily was making comments about it, like, "So, you like that girl, huh?" Mark was mortified. He hadn't shared that with anyone, let alone his 11-year-old sister. And then, of course, Lily went around telling all their friends at school. Mark felt completely humiliated. When Mark tried to tell Sarah about it, she dismissed his feelings, telling him to stop being dramatic. That's when Mark decided he needed space. He couldn't take it anymore, so he started avoiding Lily as much as possible. The issue really came to a head the other day. I came home from work and saw Mark sitting on the couch with Lily. They were watching a show, and I thought maybe they were getting along. But then I realized they were were watching a show that Lily liked and not one they both enjoyed. Lily was bossing Mark around about how he should be watching it or how he was sitting too far from the TV. Mark got frustrated and stormed off to his room. Lily, of course, immediately started crying, but it was so obviously fake. I could see right through it. She ran to Sarah saying Mark was being mean to her, and that's when Sarah went upstairs to talk to Mark. I stopped her before she could go up, telling her I'd handle it. I went upstairs to check on Mark, and he finally opened up to me. He told me that it wasn't just about the show, it was just everything. He couldn't trust Lily anymore because of her constant snitching and invading his privacy. He told me he was tired of being made to feel like he was in the wrong no matter what he did. And yeah, instead of just telling your wife, Sarah, like, don't worry, I'll handle it, you should have been like, hey, here's what's reality. Here's what really just happened. I literally watched it with my own 2 eyes.
Yeah, there seems to be like a lack of communication on the dad to the mom, the dad with both of the children.
Yeah, the final straw was Lily outing his crush to everyone at school, which we already knew about. He said he couldn't have any peace or privacy when she was always watching him and reporting back to Sarah. So now Mark is refusing to be around Lily. He's 13 and he deserves to have some space, but Sarah is pushing me to punish him for ignoring her, saying he's being mean to Lily by not spending time with her. She's even giving me the silent treatment now. She's upset that I'm not backing her up on this and that I'm not punishing Mark for not getting along with Lily. Every time I try to talk to her, she shuts down, won't engage, and just gives me the cold shoulder. Honestly, I'm feeling caught in the middle. I understand Sarah wants them to get along, but I don't think Mark should be forced to spend time with Lily if it's just going to be another situation where she invades his privacy and tattles on him. He needs boundaries and he needs to be able to have a private life, especially as a teenager. But it feels like Sarah doesn't see it that way. She thinks I'm being too lenient with Mark and not holding him accountable. So am I the a-hole for not punishing my son for wanting space from his sister, especially after she found out about his crush and made it public, and after my wife started giving me the silent treatment? And there's the update.
We're going to get back to the story, but Sam, you have a copious amount of something.
What, John?
X's.
I have like 4 or 5 or 6.
I heard of 6 with a 0
All
behind
right,
it.
that 60 number, comes from somewhere else.
Where does that come from?
It comes from our OK Storytime membership.
Yeah, that's freaking right. We have 60 plus hours of exclusive live streams on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
It's only $5 a month, so go to the link in our description, youtube.com/OKOP show/join.
Join a club almost as exclusive as Sam's X is. Well, let's get back to the story.
Honestly, from what's been said here, it's a no, right? Like,
There's context that the wife is holding that is incorrect. She is not seeing what you are saying, and maybe you're not seeing some of what she's saying. Regardless, there's context that each parent is holding that is different than the other parent. And until there could be like a shared agreement, I imagine that both of you would, in the most ideal form of your marriage, want to be able to be partners in parenting. And if you're not able to come to a shared understanding, there probably shouldn't be any decisions being made. And so I'm not sure how to go about it if Sarah's not even open to the conversation at all. But it seems like that's the thing that needs to happen before anything is moved upon with the children at all.
First, I want to thank everyone again for your comments, even the harsh ones. They made me take a long, hard look at this situation and realize just how much it's been affecting Mark and our family as a whole. I decided to have a serious conversation with Sarah about her favoritism towards Lily and how it's been hurting Mark. I explained how dismissing Mark's feelings and excusing Lily's behavior has created a toxic environment where Mark feels unsupported and disrespected. I brought up specific examples like Lily outing his crush and how it humiliated him, and her constant tattling that makes him feel like he has no privacy. Unfortunately, the conversation didn't go as I hoped. Sarah completely denied showing favoritism and instead doubled down, saying Mark was just being a bad child and that his avoidance of Lily was mean and immature. She kept defending her actions, saying she's only trying to keep the peace and make them get along, but it was clear she wasn't willing to acknowledge her role in the problem. No matter how much I tried to stay calm and explain where I was coming from, she refused to see my point of view. Eventually, I realized we weren't getting anywhere and I didn't want the conversation to escalate into a fight, so I left the room and went upstairs to talk to Mark instead. When I got to Mark's room, I sat down with him and told him the truth, that I love him and that I know things have been unfair to him. I admitted that I hadn't done enough to protect him from the situation with his mom and sister, and I promised him that I'm going to do better. I told him I see how much he's been hurting and that his feelings are valid, even if not everyone in the house is acknowledging them right now. Mark seemed surprised, but relieved.
That's actually so sweet.
Yeah, I feel like that was the perfect way to go about it.
Well, he's actually getting some attention and,
Yeah.
some love.
At least acknowledgement. I don't understand how being a stone wall in this situation from like Sarah's perspective, that makes no sense to me.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense to the scenario because it's not about the scenario. There's so many more things outside of this.
You're seeing you got the X-ray specs on. You're seeing beyond this.
Yeah.
Mark seemed surprised but relieved. He told me how much it's been weighing on him and how alone he's felt lately. It broke my heart to hear how much he's been holding in, but I reassured him that he's not alone and that I'm in his corner. I told him I'd work on fixing the issues with Sarah and Lily, but in the meantime, I'm going to make sure he feels supported and respected. I know this is only the beginning and it's going to take time and effort to fix what's been broken, but I refuse to let Mark feel like he's second best in his own home anymore. He deserves better and I'm committed to giving him that. Thank you again for giving me the push I needed to start making changes. I'll try and keep you all updated. Many of you guys have been telling me to take Mark and leave and get a divorce, but I am scared of divorce because I live in California and I searched it up and everything is split 50-50 and I'm not even in a good financial state right now with my wife spending on herself and Lily. Tonight, I'll talk to my wife and have an ultimatum. If she does not agree to treat Mark fairly and punish Lily correctly, then we will have a divorce. So yeah, there's no way this is just about the kids. This is not an issue you divorce over. This is how I'm seeing it, right? Life is unfair. Fundamentally, there are things that will always happen that are not fair and not ideal. And right now, Mark is experiencing the unfair. So this is a great teaching opportunity where you go, look, sometimes things aren't going to line up right for you, but you need to be able to have the self-assuredness and the self-respect to know when you're in the right and when things are just like unnecessarily dramatic. I've given an ultimatum to treat Mark fairly and punish Lily correctly, and if that cannot happen, we will have a divorce. But still, I might not go that way, since as I said before, I don't want to split 50-50 since I'm in a bad financial state. Can you guys please tell me a way to take care of this? And I don't have enough money for a good lawyer, so don't suggest it. I want to suggest to you right now to go listen to full episodes with stories just like this. And you know what? It's a great alternative to therapy is listening to our podcast as much as possible.
I don't know. You're just going to see me looking into the distance, frustrated, and having an existential crisis every time.
You don't need to see it. You can just hear his silence on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcast. Just search OK Storytime. You can listen to us for days, literally days, for more than a month straight. So I see a lot of comments here where it's like, yes, therapy, family therapy. I feel like that is very important. Probably. Again, I love that what you said earlier where it's like leading with curiosity, where it's like instead of being like, because clearly Sarah is resistant to anything that has to do with this conversation about Lily. So take that completely off the table. Don't make this about Lily. Don't make this about Mark. Just make it about you and your wife and say, like, how do you feel about us right now? Do you feel like maybe we could benefit from like talking to somebody? You know, having a conversation. Like,
I agree. Take the pressure off of this scenario and then just approach it more generally through like, can we talk about us? And maybe like, I want to have a great relationship with you. I want to feel connected to you. How can we go about like creating that together?
I like what Duchess said. I just don't see the wife agreeing to therapy when she won't even talk to OP and double down about Lily being right in her treatment of Mark. We don't know until we actually try, but
I let my daughter connect with her biological father who's in jail, but my husband is concerned about it.
I'm concerned too.
So let me add some context. I, 29 female, and fiance, 29 male, have been together for 10 years next month and plan on getting married next month. Also, we have 3 children aged 12, 8, and 7. My oldest daughter is from a previous relationship, so we don't know what age she is, but her stepdad came into her life right before her 2nd birthday. And by the way, this comes from do_track9407, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to ROK Storytime subreddit. So she calls her stepdad Dad. They have a good relationship, and he's always treated her like his own. To him, she is his. Her bio dad has been almost non-existent in her life due to his substance addiction and staying in and out of prison. When she was smaller, it was easier to just go about our lives and not really pursue anything to do with him because 1, he didn't really try, and I wasn't going to force anything, and 2, he wasn't in any good place where I could trust him with our daughter in any type of way. We both knew the older she got, she'd probably get more curious and ask questions and maybe even want to try herself to pursue a relationship. Does she know that?
I'm assuming she's, aware that her dad is in prison.
Last week, she gathered up the courage to ask if she would possibly write him in prison because she wants to get to know him. She says she thinks about him often, doesn't want to hurt our feelings. I told her our feelings don't matter when it comes to the situation. My love for her is greater than the disdain I have for the things he's done. So, of course, tell her yes. I've always told myself I would always facilitate the relationship whenever she got older because I don't want that to cause resentment towards me or her stepdad. So her stepdad has always encouraged relationship briefly because we both just want the best for her and for him as well. So this past week, they've sent numerous messages to each other. So the daughter is sending messages back and forth with her bio dad.
Yeah.
And I could see a positive change in her. It makes her happy. And her happiness is all that matters. But now, her stepdad has started to kind of switch sides. After he found some papers that she's written down on questions and talking points to write to her bio dad, and has said to me, not to her, that he doesn't understand why she's doing this. He doesn't know what she thinks the outcome will be. He just doesn't see what she thinks she'll get out of it. And whenever her bio dad messes up and just stops communicating once he's out of prison, I told him she's just curious. It's natural. He's her dad, and we know this day was coming. What we can do is be there for her, and if anything goes wrong, pick up the pieces for her. Then he said, whenever it goes wrong, he's going to give my daughter a big fat "I told you so," which I replied is wrong and somewhat hateful.
Yeah, why would you do that?
I told you so to your daughter who's trying to have a relationship with her father. Why would you rub it in her face? Which could be extremely traumatizing to a child already suffering the pain of that scenario if it happened.
Yeah. And also, I think that you could, have those kind of fears and stuff in your head and tell your daughter, hey, it might not go the way that you want it to.
And because I
but
love
we support you.
I'm a little worried.
Yes.
And I want to just.
That's totally different than being like, well, I'm going to tell her I told you so.
Now he was super angry and just stormed out and left. I can understand why he has these feelings. I'm feeling somewhat at a loss. I don't want this to cause any type of rift in their relationship, in our relationship, and I don't want it to cause any type of problems. I don't want to make her feel bad for wanting this, and I don't want to be made feel bad for helping her and being excited with her. And I don't want to tip over him and his feelings about it. I know he loves her and might feel a little jealous. It may be just hurt like he's not enough, which isn't the case. She even told me she can't bring herself to call her bio dad because that's not her dad.
Yeah.
Her stepdad is her dad and has been and will be forever. It's just a sticky situation, and I want to be doing the right thing for my daughter, but also for my family, period. Any advice is welcome. Can we please just keep it somewhat nice? Because I feel like an a-hole. Okay, there's an edit.
OP is the farthest person from an a-hole in this story.
Yeah, she's being so mature.
Yeah.
It's facilitating
in
this
both
relationship
scenarios
with her daughter, with her bio dad, because she cares for the daughter.
And also being just like very understanding of her husband's kind of point of view of feeling maybe jealous, and everyone saying that he might be feeling threatened by
and that makes sense. It's your daughter by all points.
Yes.
Edit number 1, I want to be clear that communication between my daughter and bio dad is completely supervised. They are online messages, and it's set up on my phone, and I screen every message that comes in from him and out from her. They are harmless and just inquisitive, him asking her about school and the things she likes. Before I agreed, I did reach out to his caseworker and asked about his time there. There are weekly substance tests in this prison, and he hasn't had an issue passing any of them. He has a job also in there, and is subject also to randoms, which he's passed all. Before even connecting, they both, including myself, had to be approved by the facility before having any contact. My daughter has been in therapy for the last 6 months also, and this is a big point for them. He's also in therapy in prison for his substance tendencies. We have sat down and talked to her about substance tendencies and all aspects as much as a 12-year-old can comprehend. I'm not just throwing my daughter into it. 12-year-old is like pretty old.
Yeah, I mean, old enough to understand.
When I was 13, I was smoking the green leaf.
12?
Well, that's
when I was 13.
That's crazy.
I don't know.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that crazy?
Yeah.
It shows.
At 13?
I had curious friends who brought some curious things in my life.
That's crazy.
Is that? I don't know. I know it's
That's
young. I know it's young.
That's
I don't know if it's
young.
crazy.
Wait, did you go to public school?
Crazy.
Yeah.
All right. See, we went to Catholic school.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, well, yeah, you're looking through it in the lens of Catholic school.
Yeah,
Catholic school.
I know.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So actually, I won't lie. Yeah, my friends did do that.
What?
My public school friends. My public school friends were doing
okay.
that at that age.
So, I mean, at that age, I had a
Did
good
I get peer
idea
pressured?
what
Did I get peer pressured? I don't know. I don't remember.
There will always be a level of hesitancy when it comes to this for my daughter's safety and emotional well-being. We got an update.
Yeah.
John, you've been dancing a lot.
I'm going to give you a live demonstration, and you're going to see it too.
Show me those hips. Oh, damn. That is a good move. But you know what is also an amazing move?
What is that, Sam?
Becoming an OK Storytime member.
Yeah, that's freaking right. We have 60 plus hours of exclusive live streams on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
It's only $5 a month, so go to the link in our description, youtube.com/OKOP show/join.
Well, let's get back to the story.
Thanks to everyone for the replies, good and bad. I appreciate it all. My fiance came immediately back and apologized to me I sense it was just like him being
Yeah, I think it's really good that this wasn't a conversation he had with his daughter. This was something that stayed between the OP and him.
Yeah. Okay, so he apologized to me and knew what he said was wrong and out of emotion. He expressed his fears of her bio dad hurting her and our daughter painting this fairy tale in her head, only for her bio dad to squash it whenever given the opportunity, whenever he is free. If he is free, he says no matter what, she is his daughter. Period.
Aww.
And doesn't want her to be hurt at all as long as he has a say so. But he also realizes there could be resentment build up towards him. And if we don't let her just simply have a conversation with the man. He says it feels like a double-edged sword either way. And I agree. Yeah. So he loves his daughter. He cares for her. He doesn't want her to be hurt.
Yeah.
My fiance's feelings are completely valid to me. And I made sure he does feel heard and not shut out pertaining to the situation. He also brought up family therapy himself, without me bringing it up first, which I think is a huge green flag, which has denied therapy before in the past for dealing with his own childhood trauma. So he's come around. I apologized to him and he said it wasn't needed, but I still did. We hugged for a long time and picked up my oldest from school an hour early and went and got some pizza and talked. My daughter told him nobody could ever replace him because nobody can ever come close. And I really think he needed to hear that.
Aww.
This is sweet.
This is really sweet.
Yeah.
It really, really came around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She also apologized for being curious, but we also stopped that in its tracks. And he said she has his blessing to do so. We've talked about setting safe boundaries and to be extra cautious with her feelings and to not be afraid to come to us about anything. We just want to make sure we are doing right by our child. Thanks again, everyone, for the input. And if wanted, I'll put in another update after family therapy is in the go. I'm also very aware of how good of a man he is and how lucky I am to have him. I make sure to tell him every day, but I'm putting the love down extra hard today. I'm extremely blessed, and so is my oldest daughter, for all the things he's done and how much he loves the both of us. We're all human and make mistakes, but I do think I'm one of the luckiest women around to be able to have him and love him. God bless.
That's lovely.
This is sweet. A happy ending for a happy boy. I'm happy.
A little happy Friday stream where you have communication and it solves all of the problems in the story.
Who would have thunk?
Who would have thunk it?
Who would have
Not
thunk
me.
it? Not actually me. I would have.
Dang it.
I would
He's
have thunk
thunking it.
You just
He's
gotta
thunking it.
do the things with your mouth where it moves, and and life is good.
What are you doing with your mouth?
Dang.
Oh. Okay.
All right, we got some comments.
What that mouth do?
Should we read 'em?
Communicate.
Communicate and
If
appreciate.
there's any extra information.
Okay,
If not, then-
let me
yeah.
say.
Just take a little check.
Oh, you made Nikki Bordeaux cry.
Why did I make you cry? What did I do?
Aw.
I made you
You
cry
made
on a
her
bus?
Cry on the bus? That's messed up.
I'm so sorry.
I never made Nikki Bordeaux cry.
Well.
Okay, we have information on why he's in prison.
Oh.
He's facing 16 years this time for multiple parole violations,
Oh.
possessions of controlled substances as usual.
Is there more?
No.
Okay. That's the whole comment?
Yeah, it's fine.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Solved. We fixed it.
We fixed it.
Fixed the whole world.
I have a request.
What's
Can you
your
make
request?
every story a happy ending when I'm here?
No.
Actually,
Why not?
I'm gonna make sure that you only get.
I have a
sad
request. How
stories
about you
now.
never get us sick again?
Whoa!
I'm just actually just gonna
The
ignore
cats are out.
when BS is said
the
in my
claws are coming out.
Arr.
Hold on. I'm gonna make sure. My father berated me for having a panic attack because it's ruining Christmas.
Oh, I'm already gonna be sad. to the
Ah,
story.
it's
I'm gonna
like,
be really sad.
you broke your leg. You're ruining
You're
the
ruining my
holidays. Hey everyone, I have been sitting on this for about a month and I've not spoken to my father over this and I want to see if I am the a-hole or not. Probably not.
Probably not.
To explain the background of the story before I start, I, 34 female, have a diagnosed anxiety disorder where I have severe anxiety and panic attacks. By the way, this comes from Charming Football 271, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to r/OK Storytime subreddit. So, I live in a northern state with my husband, 34 male, and 2 kids, 1 male and 7 female. My father and stepmom are retired nurses who live in a southern state, and my grandparents live in Florida. The plan was to spend a week in Florida and on our way home, stop at my dad's for a few days as the midway point to our house. For Christmas this year, we drove my new car from our state to Florida, and everything was exciting. We got to Florida a day ahead of schedule, where for Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, my dad and stepmom were going to come to my grandparents to spend Christmas with their grandkids. Since we got to Florida 2 days before Christmas Eve, we spent 1 day at the beach and had a wonderful time. On Christmas Eve morning, my husband decided to go to the store to get milk for our son before the stores closed early, and my car wouldn't start. It would not turn over or anything. I know a fair amount about cars from my stepdad, who taught me how to change my tires, oil, and replace easy parts like belts and plugs, so I figured the issue was either my starter or something electrical. I started to panic as I'm a teacher, and I started to mentally picture that I would be stuck in Florida and not be back for work, and I started to panic.
And that's serious. Getting stuck in Florida?
Yeah.
Who wants to get stuck in Florida?
Not want to be stuck there.
I apologize to anyone who's in Florida.
My husband and grandparents know when I had severe panic attacks, it's best to let me walk away and have space to clear my head and not force me to come back and engage until I'm mentally ready to do so. So I walked and sat at the lake and cried and had my panic attack. And not too long after getting there, my stepmom and dad showed up, and my stepmom was kind and told me she understood and to take my time. But dad, however, was not so kind.
You get your crib together and stop acting like this, gosh darn it.
Dad, I just need to pull myself together because this is causing a huge issue financially and even time-wise. Like, how are we going to get home as all shops are closed for the next 3 days?
Well, you need to go back on meds. Go talk to your therapist because this is not how we behave. Your husband has the car being towed to a shop who will look at it when they open. So we are going back to Grandma and Grandpa's house now since you are punishing your children and ruining the holiday.
How is that going to help? How is that going to help anyone? I don't argue and just go back since my husband has it covered, and since I was mentally exhausted, I just laid in my and my husband's room and fell asleep. The next morning was Christmas, and despite the unknown about what was wrong with my car, I sat there and enjoyed the holidays with my kids, watching them open presents from Santa and my grandparents. Prior to my dad coming to their house, I tried FaceTiming my mom to say Happy Christmas, but my mom told me that she and my stepdad were on their way to bury his mother.
What?
Who just fell into eternal sleep of cancer the day prior.
Oh my God.
Whoa.
Wait,
and
so her grandma?
No, this is her stepdad. So both her mom and dad remarried. So this is her stepdad. And so she will FaceTime me later. Soon after, my dad and stepmom show up and the kids open gifts from them and we chat for a little. And even though I'm still high on my anxiety, where I am still super anxious and unable to truly be happy until I know what was wrong with my car, as well as how much it will cost me to fix it. Later that day, my grandparents' friends came over to do Christmas dinner, and I was sitting in one part of the house watching and playing with the 1-year-old while my husband kept an eye on our 7-year-old. My grandparents' friends approached me, talked to me knowing what was going on, but they still gave me space, but still engaged me in conversation, understanding I was keeping my toddler from destroying my grandparents' house while they and my dad were cooking. The entire time I'm talking to anyone who approaches me, my dad and grandfather are outside cooking. Time passes and my dad comes in and out of the house, giving me side glances as he passes that I notice, but I ignore as I focus on my son who's running around.
Wait, so was it the stepdad or
No, stepdad.
real father who
Yeah, biological father.
was the one who yelled at her
Yes.
for having the panic
Yeah,
attack?
stepdad and mom are not there.
Okay.
I guess OP was just calling them.
Got it. Thank you.
My mom finally FaceTimes me, and I sit with my kids on my lap as we talk to my mom and stepdad, and my dad is standing there in the doorway just staring at me. I continue to ignore him as we talk to my mom, who talks about the burial and what happened, and then asks the kids about Christmas, etc. After the kids were done, my mom asked me if my anxiety is high today, as she can see it on my face. And I vented about my car, and she told me that things will work out and offered different things we can do. My mom listened, and it made me feel better. My entire call with my mom lasted no more than 10 minutes, and why am I getting the feeling that the dad is gonna make a whole big fuss about this?
It turns out when we listen to people that are going through struggle,
It makes them feel better.
They makes them feel better and they become
Makes
more
them
resilient.
feel better.
And they become more resilient.
And when we say, why are you having an anxiety attack?
Why are you
that
feeling your feelings?
Usually doesn't make them feel better. Shocking.
It usually makes it worse.
Christmas dinner comes, and when my anxiety is high, I can't eat or I get sick. So I focus on making sure my kids are fed and bathed, etc. After my grandparents' friends leave, my dad finally comes up to me and shakes his head as he looks at me.
You need to get your anxiety under control.
I'm sorry?
You need to get on your meds and get help, but this is not working. You were so rude and ignored everyone.
I didn't reply as I felt an anxiety attack building because I thought I was talking to people and I thought I was not acting moody. I just got up and went into my room and my husband's room and I had my anxiety attack.
Poor OP.
I went into full flight mode and wanted to leave. I cried to my husband that I wanted to call an Uber and have them bring me to an airport to fly home as I cannot do anything right when I was watching my kids and still talking to people. But apparently I must have been living in some altered reality where it never happened. Though through the door while I was having my anxiety attack, I could hear my dad talking about me to my grandmother, who was not engaging in the conversation as well as in front of my 7-year-old.
I've seen this at the mental hospitals all the time when I was a nurse. It's all an act for attention. She was all fine to talk to her mother, but not talk to anyone else. She is choosing who to talk to, and this is an act. She needs mental help, and it's going to harm her kids. They're going to be totally messed up because of her.
What? Shut up.
Shut up. I'm
no
the one
one
who
likes
said
you.
it. Shut up.
Shut up.
Shut up, Alex. Everyone say shut up, Alex.
I sat in our room crying while my husband went to deal with my dad, and I do not know the full conversation, but what my husband told me as a summary is that he told my dad that he should not have said that, but should have asked if I'm okay and not berate me. And my dad point blank told my husband that until I apologize to the people I wronged, I'm not welcome at his house. My stepmom stopped in our room before leaving and told me she sees how I feel and told me my dad doesn't mean what he says and let him cool down and he will see how he was wrong and he will call me in a few days, and told me not to reach out until he does, which I agreed, as when he used to get mad at my brother and I as kids, he would usually reach out 2 days later to talk it out. This man needs therapy.
Do you think he really would come to his senses after 2 days?
Well, it seems
like he has very strong beliefs around mental illness and emotional responses. I wonder if those are just going to transform in 2 days and he's going to be like, oh, I was wrong.
I think either this is a common thing where he just says whatever's on his mind and then he's like, well, probably made them sad.
A little more empathy after.
Or this is a thing where he goes home and stepmom's like, how you can't say that to her, go apologize, and berates him until he does.
I don't know if therapy will work. It seems like these are deeply ingrained beliefs around emotions. His not to validate what he's doing, but I imagine maybe his emotions were extremely dismissed and rejected. And so when other people have a big emotional experience, I imagine it pisses him off.
Yeah, he's
because
I can't feel emotion, so no one can.
Yeah.
John, we're going to get back to the story, but I got to tell you, I've been loving these pearls that I got in Colombia.
You are a delicious beaded man now.
I do feel more confident at the very least, but I think these pearls pale in the amount of confidence an OK Storytime membership can get you.
That's right. You get 60 plus hours a month of exclusive live stream content. That's advice that'll make you the best version of yourself.
It's only $5 a month, so go to the link in our description, youtube.com/OKOPshow/join.
Crack open that oyster and get the blues. But let's get back to the story.
Fast forward to New Year's Eve. My car finally got fixed that day. Long story with the car, but I had squirrels using my car's engine compartment as storage for pine cones, and it caused fuses to melt into the fuse box, which in turn caused my car to not start. Thankfully, insurance covered it all, and at this point, I was over the whole vacation as we were less than 4 days before we needed to be home and have not heard from my dad. So I said, let's go home. I booked a hotel for the next night in a neighboring state to ours, hoping we would be able to stop and stay with my dad as it's the midpoint. It was 6 days since the whole situation with my dad, and I have not heard anything. So as we drove home, my husband texted my dad telling him we were heading home, as the car is finally fixed, and asked if we were welcome to stay the night before heading home. And my dad texted back,
you and the kids are, but your wife is not, until she apologizes for ruining Christmas to me.
My husband did not reply, and he reassured me that I did not ruin Christmas, and he started it and should not have, so we decided to drive past his house and drive to the following state to a hotel. We left the next morning, and I was courteous to my family, as I was raised to keep family in the loop when we were traveling, and texted my family text chain that we have going since my grandma got a smartphone. Hey, we're leaving town name and state, heading to other town name and state next to ours. My in-laws, stepmom, and grandparents all said, okay. Drive safe. My dad separately texted me,
I don't care. When you get home and want to be an adult and have an adult conversation about how you ruin Christmas. We will do so over the phone and not texting like a child. This man really,
Yeah.
I think the issue is
He
this
hates
man
all
really
forms of communication.
loves Christmas.
So I'm here still not calling my dad, but I want to know, am I the a-hole for ruining Christmas? And there is an update.
It makes me sad you're asking that.
I'm
sad for you.
I know.
I'm sad that
like you're literally going through like a mental, health thing. You have anxiety.
And your dad is putting so much shame on you, where now you're questioning is your own experience that you can't control, and that you know you can't control that. You're wondering, maybe he's right.
Yeah.
And that makes me really sad.
I don't like him. I don't like him one bit. Thank you, everyone, for your words, positive and negative. The kind and necessary words and reassurance that I was not wrong gives me the ability to sigh with relief. I'm trying to keep up with everyone and reply. To clear some things up that I have repeatedly responded to. My dad never acted like this towards me before, nor has he seen my anxiety attacks before. He lives in a world of denial. Mental health isn't a thing, and we suppress our emotions and bury it down and move on. My dad and my mom divorced when I was 3, and my dad was more of a 2 weekends a month dad, and I remember calling him when I was younger, begging to stay with him when my mom was emotionally and psychologically towards me, and my dad would give me every and any excuse to not take me in, and in a way he only wanted to be a parent when it was his time, but not to actually be a parent. Yes, I have tried different anxiety meds, you name it, I've been on it, and they had such severe side effects on me to the point where I was hospitalized, and meds are not for me. My therapist has given me more help than any medication ever will, and that's my opinion. Yes, I have a therapist, 13 years and counting, from my mother. They even said meds are not for everyone, and they have given me many coping mechanisms that help more when I have the time to do them. And yes, walking away from whatever is triggering an episode is a healthy way to deal rather than standing there and suffering. Some people were offended that my inability to eat was triggering my kids and setting a bad example. Everyone is different, and every day we deal with stress and anxiety differently. When my anxiety is high, I can't eat or I will throw up and get violently ill, and I'm on a lot of supplements that give me nutrients that I may be lacking. And my daughter understands this, and she's the most empathetic and emotionally tuned kid I know. She knows how people are feeling and wants to do nothing more than to comfort and help others. As of today, I have not heard anything, and I'm okay with that. I do not plan to contact him since, as it was pointed out by several of you, my dad is a giant child. Yeah, well, I'm kind of shocked that your stepmom's with him because she seems cool. Your dad seems kind of like he's... I do not plan to contact him since, as it was pointed out by several of you, my dad is a giant child and I don't owe him any apology, but he owes me one for knowingly attacking me and making everything worse just for him to victimize himself. We typically normally never talk a lot. It was like once in a month thing to check in, and I'm used to not talking to him, and I'll keep it that way. I did call my therapist when I got home and told them what happened, and they agreed that my dad swooping in before I got a chance to use any of my coping mechanisms in the end is what made things worse. They called it targeted victimization, where my dad intentionally made it worse and poked and pushed so he could act like he was a victim, even though he was intentionally putting me in more danger and causing more damage. By the way, you would be putting us in less danger. You would be causing no damage. If you listen to more full episodes of stories just like this, just go to OK Storytime on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcast app. There is a little bit left to this story. I don't think you need to necessarily reach out to your dad. I think that hopefully he'll kind of come to his senses at some point, and then maybe not. Maybe he won't come to his senses.
It seems like deep-rooted beliefs and potential his own trauma of his own dismissing or someone else's dismissing of his emotions and his inner world. And so I don't imagine this will change. Mm-hmm. There's miracles that could happen. I've seen miracles of people radically transforming. But to OP, I would ask you, if your dad never changed and never came around and always acted like that, would you still want to have a relationship with him, or would you want to have a very limited relationship with him? And how would that look?
Honestly, though, I'm sure if I was able to walk away and use my coping mechanisms to calm and rationalize things, this whole story would have ended differently, but that didn't happen. I did send his nasty text to my grandmother, and she also apologized for what my dad said to me, and she said parents will never hate their children, and he will come around once he realizes what he has done and what he lost, though I know she is disappointed in him. But that is the end of that story.